Greetings, parts unknown. My name is Sonny Sofrito, and today I am joined by
the outgoing general manager of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
And if you don't know the reason why, check out episode 36. It turns out that someone is eating crow.
Yes, the resignation is soon coming, Sonny.
Exactly. You got 2 weeks. Hashtag that shit. And I'm also joined by
Kervin, the co-founder of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
And the reason why you're here today for episode 37
Why is that, Sonny?
is because 7 is your lucky number.
Yes, it is, and 37 is also my age.
Shout out to middle age. Gentlemen, how are you? Because I'm exhausted after a week and days and weekends of wrestling. How are you two?
I'm holding on.
Have we survived?
Are you exhausted from the days and weeks and all this stuff of wrestling, or is it because you're just tired of being on your knees?
That's true. That's true. The doctor says I have a body of a 20-year-old, first off. A dead 20-year-old, but a 20-year-old nonetheless. I'm just exhausted from SummerSlam Weekend, and then we had Raw and Smackdown still in Brooklyn. Nothing good happens in Brooklyn, by the way. The rabid fans of Brooklyn, I'm exhausted. But, yes.
You know, I would go with the quote that Roger says that Brooklyn only exists when I need it to be, but they got some really good places to go eat in Brooklyn, too, man.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Junior's Cheesecake, beautiful place in Brooklyn to eat.
And you know what? Morgan's Barbecue was actually pretty good, too.
That's good.
Right by Barclays Center.
Now you guys are making me hungry talking
Yes.
about all these food spots.
I know. And there's a guy in East New York who I love to eat. So, yeah, shout out to Brooklyn. It's good.
Wow.
Good. So, gentlemen,
Jesus Christ.
shall we dive right in to Raw?
Let's do it.
Monday Night Raw was interesting. Interesting to say the least.
It was litty, son. It was litty.
It was actually the first Raw that I watched live since Raw 25.
Oh, shout out to Raw 25.
Yeah, Raw 25 was
That
the
was
last
years
Raw.
ago. Have you been DVRing it ever since?
Yeah, since January.
Smart man.
That's because he likes to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, Kervin.
God bless the fast forward button.
I love to watch porn and fast forward. Anywho, the show started with Universal Champion. Yes, Sonny, I said it. Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
Said that real loud.
Oh,
too.
yeah. It's great. It's great. It feels good to say it again.
Finally, once I don't have to adjust his damn volume.
Exactly, man.
It's funny because it's true. Yes, he and Finn Balor and Baron Corbin were all in the ring together.
And let me guess, you slid.
There was some slight 2 + 2 is 4.
Well,
And the pussy's real good. Come get it. I was just having a good time just seeing the three of them. Like, that could have been my entire Raw right there. Like, I didn't need to see anything else in that episode except that. Yeah. Book it. Book that, Roger. Forever.
and then Bobby Lashley came out.
And immediately. You ever been with a pretty girl and then your dick goes soft? That's what that was. I was having a great time, and here comes Bobby. The anti-Viagra.
So real quick before we move on to the anti-Viagra, as Teddy likes to put it,
Yes.
I kind of like the fact that Roman Reigns came out and said, you know what, I want to take on Finn Balor because Finn Balor, you know, he had to give up his Universal Championship when after he won it because due to the injury.
And where did you get that injury from, Sonny? Who was that?
He was it was in a wrestling match.
Wait, against who?
I'm raising my hand. I want to answer
Please
this.
do.
I don't think that we should.
Who
It was-
injured him?
It was the greasy queen,
Thank
Seth
you.
Rollins.
Thank
Don't
you.
encourage him, man.
Shout
Why-
out to no one has seen Sting in years. Yes.
I gave Teddy the assist there.
Thank you.
Stop playing point guard to Teddy's.
Oh, I love hockey. So anyway, yeah. So Finn Balor deserved it, and it had a bit of a Velveteen Ricochet feel because Roman called him out, and Finn just came out, stood close to him, and said, "Yeah, that's all I like. A man of few words. I like that. I really did.
Yeah,
Really did."
well,
Speaking
whatever.
of men of few words, Ruby Riot's back too. So yeah, that happened too.
Those are the thoughts and opinions.
Oh,
of
Sonny,
Teddy,
don't start
and
so
they do
soon.
not reflect the thoughts or opinions.
Don't be
of
that
Yep, I
harsh,
Like
Teddy. Don't be that harsh.
Anywho, let's go down the card. So after Bobby Lashley came out, he defeated Constable Corbin. Whatever. Yes, Sonny, we know you wanted to order a drink because he looks like a waiter. We get it. Damn you, Kervin Wood, for putting that in our head.
It looks like he shops at Express, too.
Shout out to Express.
Express or H&M?
Could be today's man.
Today's man.
Jesus Christ.
I took it back with that one.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Wow. Okay.
I guarantee you'll look good.
The only place I know you could buy 8 suits for $1. Only place ever.
Exactly. There is Delancey Street, too.
Oh, shout out to Delancey. You could get a leather coat and cocaine in the same store, Sonny. I love Delancey Street. I do.
You know, before you threw in the cocaine comment, I was going to say something about me and my dad, but now it seems a little bit obsolete at this moment.
Did you and your dad buy cocaine? That's good when fathers and sons get together.
No.
That's true.
You asshole.
Oh.
That answers all of my questions about Sonny.
I know the mystery's solved now, isn't it?
Thanks to you, Teddy.
Sofrito. Spanish for drugs. What?
My dad used to take me down to Delancey Street to go school shopping every year, and it was always around this time. And anyway, now I got cocaine in that story. It ruined it.
I miss my dad too. I wish I knew who he was. Any of it, the Riot Squad took on Sasha, Bailey, and Amber.
And they beat the shit out of them. It was. I guess it was appropriate that they were in Brooklyn because it was a Brooklyn beatdown.
There was, but nothing good ever happens in Brooklyn. There was a fight in the crowd too, but yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, I want to say something about that.
Did anyone check out Amber's suicide dive? That's how you do a suicide dive. Yeah. Amber is putting her body out there.
I'm sorry, I do not call that a suicide dive.
What do you call it?
I call it a homicide.
Yes. She puts it all out there. She really does.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say something that may shock you.
And what's that, Teddy?
Ruby Riott did a move that I was virtually impressed by. I think Corey Graves called it a lion kick. Was that what he called it?
Oh, to end the match?
Yes.
Very
impressive. I had never seen it before.
So that move, I've never seen her do it like that. She usually does it a little bit different where she puts the foot on the opponent's face and just falls back. And I've seen another wrestler, a male wrestler, do it. And I always thought that she did that move very well. And the move she just did looked a little different, but again, very well.
It was, yeah.
I mean, you know what? We crack jokes. Teddy cracks jokes on Ruby Riott and everything, but
once or twice.
Shit, like fucking 15. But I gotta say, man, she was really, really impressive. I mean, I really want to start paying attention more to her matches if they give her more time. But that's a whole nother story. But I would really like to see her more in the ring.
She was solid.
Teddy, are you going to be nice to her now since she did
I've
that move?
always been nice. Ruby and I go back like this.
You guys have a love and hate relationship.
We do.
It seems like.
Yes. I hate her, and I love to tell people about it. It's a love-hate relationship. Yes, but no, she's a solid competitor. She really is. I take nothing away from her because I don't want anything she's ever touched.
What? I was going to say she's been around for a while. She deserves the credit.
She looks like she's been around. Many a block.
Again, those are the thoughts and opinions of Teddy.
I was agreeing with.
They don't represent.
Come on, Sonny. He was agreeing with me.
I was agreeing with Mr. Swagger over here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I know the context in which you were trying to agree with.
Okay, fine. Enough about Ruby Riott. But speaking about other men who should hang it up, Triple H came out.
I don't know about hanging it up, but hey.
Oh, yeah. I'm over it.
If you were talking about The Undertaker, I would agree.
Well, who's he fighting? The Undertaker?
No, I get that. But I will say that Triple H's matches, as of recent, I've enjoyed more than at any point in his career.
He still can go.
I'd like him to go.
And I think
far.
With the promo that he cut on Monday, it was a great promo. And him saying that this is the last time you're going to see Triple H versus Undertaker, it gives me the assumption that Undertaker is on the brink of retirement.
I don't believe that that's going to be the last time they face each other. But what I will say is, on a psychological level, as far as telling a story in the ring, Triple H has gotten better over the years. He can't do the same shit that he used to do way back in the day. No one can after so many years in the ring. But he's gotten better at telling a story in the ring. And I'm looking forward to any other match he has except for this one, to be quite honest.
I mean, why would we headline? Okay, so I guess the trip to Saudi Arabia was a success because now we're doing this again. This time we're going to Australia to do a big thing. Why would you headline that with 2 part-timers? Why?
Well, that's an easy answer. It's because they're in demand on a regular.
How are these two? Can we agree that The Undertaker's last match was not his best outing?
We're saying this about Triple H and Undertaker. There's people over there in Australia that can't wait to see them.
I mean, this is Australia. It's not back in time. Like, they have to know that The Undertaker is past his prime.
Sometimes
as is Triple H.
Sometimes you get more love out of United States than you do in the United States.
It's the nostalgia. It's the nostalgia.
But to headline an entire pay-per-view, and then Triple H comes out and cuts this terrible promo, and it's like, who cares? That's what I write with my notes. Who cares? Him and Undertaker, who cares?
In Saudi Arabia, Randy Orton had a huge pop. A pop that he normally doesn't get in the United States.
I'll tell you about another pop from Randy Orton.
Oh, really?
Don't ever shake his head.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
I've never wanted to be a writer in WWE before today. Now I do. I do.
Okay. Well, let's keep on going. Let's do going down the line. Dean Ambrose in his first match back against Dolph Ziggler, and I got to tell you, I'm digging what he's doing.
I love the fact that he changed his moveset to
God.
go along with changing his look.
I'm going to borrow a line from Booker T. He looked good. Yep.
Even with the receding hairline?
No, again, a haircut, like I've told Sonny, sometimes a haircut does it. Now that he's cut it lower, put some muscle on, he's out there looking like a daddy now. I'm here for it. Yes.
Doesn't have to grow some hair to hide that receding hairline.
No, I like it. Shows some age, shows some muscle.
Not only is he back, but his hairline is back.
Oh, goodness. I see what you did there. I'm
glad you did.
My only question is what they're going to be doing with McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, because I'm not sure if this is like the beginning to more with them, with all 4 of them, or the end.
I don't know. It's hard to say because we're going to talk about Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins even a lot more later on. But Dolph Ziggler has a contract issue, and his contract is almost up. Is he coming back? And I think all this depends on that.
But did he just sign 5 years?
No. KO signed for 5 years.
But I thought Dolph Ziggler re-signed also.
From my records, no, he did not. It's him and Daniel Bryan they're close to being free agents.
I thought he just re-upped, man.
No.
I doubt Dolph Ziggler's going anywhere, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that comedy shit ain't that good.
Yes. It's not.
I mean, I know he's doing some stuff, but I mean, I didn't get a chance to check out any of the comedy that he did this past weekend around the city. But
me personally, I hope they continue it for the sake of Drew McIntyre, because I think Drew McIntyre has the potential to be a main eventer.
Mm-hmm. The Scottish psychopath, yes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But speaking of
Main eventers?
the main eventers, let's talk about I Walk with Elias.
I call bullshit on that segue. We said main eventers, and you come up with Elias? No.
Well, to Sonny, he's a main eventer. He's going to be one day.
Sonny.
Yes.
Sonny
Do you have
loves
a
him.
little thing for Elias? Like, you just won't see the bad in this man.
Sonny was
The dude he's a great talent, man. I like what he does. I Walk with Elias, man.
Sonny was pissed when he found out that they pushed back his concert.
Were you, Sonny? Were you a little miffed?
Well, wasn't miffed, as you say, and I wasn't pissed, but I was a little disappointed. But it didn't matter anyway. I wasn't going to be able to make it anyway, because we had tickets to a suite.
Ooh, we were living that sweet life.
Yes. Hashtag too sweet.
Exactly.
Speaking of sweet, the AOP for the 98th week in a row took on Titus Worldwide. And again, I was half erect that entire match. Yes.
God. Mm-hmm. Well, now that I saw them in the ring again, I can actually say now with absolute certainty, the one I was referring to that I could definitely see being a good singles competitor is Rezar.
Is that the big one or the little one?
The bigger one or the bigger one? That's basically what he means.
He's the one where with darker hair.
They both have dark hair, in my opinion.
No, one has shorter hair than the other one.
I gotta look.
You know what?
The hot one or the hotter one, Sonny? Which one?
No, I ain't saying that shit.
Please don't say it, Sonny.
No, that shit ain't not coming out of my mouth.
You can hate it. Well, I would love it to come out of mine.
Or as Tara would probably prefer, the one that sells the Blue Mist hookahs or the one that sells the watermelon hookahs.
Shout out to the Glamazon and shout out to the Heights, where you could buy anything for $10.99. Well, listen, I'm over Titus Worldwide. I'm over that. That's not going anywhere.
Wait, real quick. Did you notice that they were teasing some type of thing going on before they went out there?
Yes. And I think pretty soon we're going to see Apollo Crews going heel along with Dana Brooke, which I kind of want to see that.
I'm here for anything that Dana Brooke is involved in.
Oh, me too. I love Dana Brooke myself.
She's playing this Queen of Spades gimmick very well. I wonder where they're going with this, but it's very interesting, interesting.
It's hard to make Titus O'Neil the heel because of so much he does outside of WWE. But Apollo Crews is a better talker than people think he is. And obviously he's very athletic in the ring, and you have Dana Brooke, his manager. I think it could be a good look.
Speaking of a good look, all the ladies at ringside, when Stephanie McMahon came out to do her Vince McMahon for Ronda Rousey. And
Ronda Rousey, Teddy, isn't she the one that made you the ongoing general manager?
Outgoing
general manager.
We don't talk about that, Kervin. Yeah. I still have 2 weeks to figure out my replacement.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I had to.
But yet you did. But yet you did bring it up. So it's funny when people say I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring this up. Yes, there will be perhaps a new general manager, none as great as I. But thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda, for ruining my life and your makeup once again this week.
Your life and her makeup have something in common.
But any event, yes, she snapped Stephanie McMahon's arm, and well, we've seen this.
I can't front. I was getting a kick out of Alexa Bliss's pink
sling. Yes,
her pink sling. This shit had me cracking up.
Well, we've seen this. Her snapping over someone and then breaking their arm. Like, I've seen it. Ronda as champion is not fit. It doesn't fit in me. It doesn't do. See what I did there? Jesus. I meant fit with me, but I said fit in me. Nothing doesn't fit in me. Anyway, it's too soon for Ronda. And then I read somewhere that Stephanie wants to do a remake of Austin versus McMahon with her and Ronda. I don't see it. Austin McMahon had that explosive chemistry. I don't see it with these two.
I don't see the chemistry with them yet, but I'm also wondering if it's because Ronda hasn't had enough to do yet. I mean, they've put her in a lot of stuff, but it's been hot. It's been impactful, but not with a quantity of time to kind of get shit over. It's almost like a constant cheap pops that they're getting with this, and nothing with a really good payoff.
Nope.
So
they'll never be as great as Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. That's something that's very epic and once in a lifetime type of thing. But hey, for a women's division, they could probably do something just something great on their own standards.
And just to do a callback to our last episode where we discussed the Ronda Rousey Alexa Bliss match, which we didn't touch on. At the end of the match, when the Bellas and Natty came out, I was hoping for like the three of them to like just beat down Ronda. And then when it didn't happen and I saw this display that happened on Monday Night Raw, I was hoping that there was going to be a whole bunch of them that would beat on Ronda just to make her for lack of a better term, the lone wolf that would kind of like take on the women's division one by one, which I thought would have been a better play to kind of get her to that type of booking that they want to do where it's Austin and she's McMahon and you make her go against everyone.
Yes.
Because she doesn't need anybody to be on her side.
I think something like what you just said right now is going to happen.
Yeah, but I go back to thinking about what Scott said on episode 35. They're going to put it on Ronda because they're not sure how long they're going to have her. And if they're not sure how long they're going to have her and they're just throwing the bolt on her now, there might not be enough time in order to get that payoff out of it. If that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. I see where you're going with that. What do you think, Teddy?
I think Ronda sucks and we want to move on. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
So, moving on, we had the B team take on the Revival in individual matches, and it was it really didn't really do anything for me. I just kind of was like, okay, Bo Dallas lost, Curtis Axel lost. All right, this is a setup for them to have another tag team championship match.
It made me say, why do this? I feel the Raw tag team division is depleted.
Extremely.
It's kind of sad in a lot of ways, and hopefully it leads to something, but I think it's going to lead to B Team facing a Revival in another match, and B Team's going to end up winning.
Speaking of people that are not winning,
And who's
Kurt
that?
Angle,
Oh, wow.
who's been sent on vacation.
Don't I know how this feels?
Yeah, right? It's funny how life imitates art.
It does.
Yeah.
And one of your favorites, Teddy, is now the acting general manager.
Do love a man with power. So, yes, Constable Corbin is the, interim acting general manager, if you will, much like there will be a new general manager here. Yeah, I'm all for it. Although, as Kervin was explaining to me while I was going through Sonny's wallet, apparently Kurt Angle is now becoming a full-time competitor? Is that the story you were telling me?
Yes, according to...
Wait. Where the fuck is my...
Sonny, don't interrupt.
Where's my debit card?
That's rude. Don't
the
interrupt.
hell?
Go on, Kervin.
Sonny,
go.
not now, Sonny. We can
Not
do that
now.
later.
Not now.
But yes, Teddy, according to my sources, Kurt Angle is actually going on vacation to train again to become a wrestler.
What?
Yeah.
So we have Triple H, we got The Undertaker, now we got Kurt Angle.
Who's
this?
next?
What is this, a Home Depot clearance sale? Like, take all our old shit, please. Like,
The fact that Kervin just said, who's next? Goldberg is
oh,
next.
Goldberg! Oh my God! Like,
Oh,
come on
please,
now.
no.
You know, Goldberg has teased that he's coming back. So.
Oh God, this man.
But I think with Baron Corbin becoming the new active general manager is going to lead something bigger for Kurt Angle. And I think Baron Corbin's improved on not necessarily on the mic, but vocally he's improved.
Looks, vocals, wrestling. Oh, he's a stud.
It's a night and day difference from him now.
Oh,
to when
absolutely.
he first came up.
Bartending,
He's
Serving.
the hottest bartender ever.
bartending, serving, front of house.
Today's Man Express.
Him with his
Delancey.
today's man. Oh, he looks
I
good.
guarantee.
He looks good.
You'll look good.
You'll look good.
I think he'll do great as an acting general manager. And it shows you that WWE has a lot of confidence in him if they're going to give him that role.
I'm for it. I like it.
Of course you're for it. You love Baron Corbin.
I do. Just yes.
And I like alcohol, so let's move on to the next
Oh,
match.
God bless Henny.
Shout out to liver failure. So, speaking of failures.
Finn Balor.
Oh, no, Sonny. No, he and Roman put on a damn good match.
No, yeah, but he failed to win.
He failed to win. And then the WWE failed to do anything original by reuniting the Shield for yet, the 100th time the Hounds of Justice are back together.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of enjoyed seeing them just beat the shit out of. I enjoy people just getting this.
You
this
like
shit
that?
beaten-
You
Yeah.
just goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I've seen this break up, get back together. They're like Ray Sean and Pookie from around the corner. They break up, bring it back together. Break up, get back together.
Why I
Like,
gotta be Ray Sean?
you know, it's we all know that couple from around the corner who break up, get back together. He has 3 more kids with 8 different baby mamas. This is what the Shield is to me.
Or that couple on social media.
Yes, you know, they hate each other, they love each other, they hate each other. He beats the shit out of her, they get back together. This is the Shield. How many times has Seth turned on them and now they're back throwing Braun Strowman through, different things? Like, come on now.
I think they're doing this to protect Roman so he doesn't get that many boos wherever he goes with the title.
Jeez.
So if I'm laughing because the Shield is a 3-man team right now. We're a 3-man team on this podcast. If we were the Shield, who would
man.
Teddy? Who would you be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Seth
don't know.
Rollins? You'll be the greasy queen.
That's a good one.
And I'll allow it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah.
I love that by default, man. You're
Yeah,
Seth Rollins.
true. I am the Seth Rollins.
so then,
of
wait,
this
who's
group.
Kervin?
Dean Ambrose.
I'm going to have to take
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose and your Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Really? I'm Roman Reigns.
It doesn't matter who I am. I think all 3 are good.
Yeah, I'm the Seth Rollins of this group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kervin is a bit of a lunatic.
I have a better hairline than Dean Ambrose, though. Luckily.
Oh, shout out to hair. Tara does not like us talking about hairlines. We cannot do this. Speaking of which,
I think the match with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor was actually really good. The ending of Raw was probably one of the best all year. And I love the fact that they added Braun Strowman in there. They did it so great, I think.
The ending of Raw was one of the best all year, but not for like two fans though, or one fan in particular.
there was a bit of
And who's that?
melee in the Brooklyn arena.
So so this dude, he was like acting rowdy all night, standing in front, standing up. He was like don't know how to describe the seating, but it was almost like on a stage within itself. So he's standing up and he's just totally pissed. Like the dude is having a tantrum during the Roman Reigns match, and I mean you would think it was, wasn't scripted. So he's freaking spazzing out, and he wouldn't sit down. Then all of a sudden, security tried to come over to him, talk to him a couple of times, and the dude literally looks at security, gives him the crotch shot, like DX and shit.
Shout out to D-Generation X.
They come up, and while they're coming over to him, this guy's telling him, "Yo, sit down, sit down." He turns to him, gives him a middle finger. Now, the dude he gave a middle finger to, that dude could have been in the ring. That's how big that dude was.
Wow.
And the dude pushed the shit out of him.
Goodness.
The funny thing is, security didn't even go to that dude. They just took the idiot that was.
There was better action in the stands than there was in the ring.
Yeah, basically. But there was some footage on it. It was actually kind of funny. And it was funny because he was actually sitting next to standing next to the girl who had the face fuck me Finn sign.
Yes.
That
Now that you mentioned it, if I'm right,
she got kicked out on Sunday.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think
Not surprised.
I think she's a.
I don't know who she is, but I like her.
I think she's an indie wrestler. I forgot her name.
Aspiring indie wrestler.
Aspiring indie wrestler,
Aspiring.
or a big time wrestling fan that goes to indie shows.
She's
one
a rat.
or the other.
She's definitely a gym rat.
Yeah.
Well, leave it to Brooklyn
But she
to do
has a
some things
message
like
like
that.
Black Lives Matter. She has a good message that she's putting out there. She does. So if you're listening, Miss Rat, cheers.
It's funny how stuff like that happens in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Imagine if W did shows in the Bronx.
Oh,
Shit.
razor blades and bullet wounds and babies with no father. Yes.
You know what? That's like really fucked up, but I'll allow it.
I mean, yes. Shout out to the Grand Concourse.
Sonny's from Harlem, so he'll let it go.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to SmackDown, gentlemen.
Do we have to?
Oh, Lord, Smackdown.
It's like when you have to give oral sex. Oh, do I have to? Crap.
Shout out to Teddy's Al Snow.
What does everyone want?
Head.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, Kervin, we got that. Yes.
What does everyone need?
Head.
Oh, God. Yes. Shout out to the picture. Yes, the people walking around in your Yep I Like t-shirts. See, look at this. It's
Well,
just,
speaking of the T-shirts.
Yep, I like wrestling t-shirts.
what did I say?
You said, yep, I like T-shirt.
Well, I do like t-shirts.
And you could purchase one on ProWrestlingTees.com/YepILW.
Exactly.
Thank you for that plug.
Cheap plug right there.
We got some designs right now. It's our basic designs. Our Yep, I Like Wrestling. We have it in different colorways, as well as our Yep, 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 I Like Wrestling, as well as our I Like Roman and I Hate Roman T-shirts. So, but stay tuned. We're going to be having some new designs coming out very, very soon. And
I didn't know about that.
that website, well, I don't tell you everything.
This is why we don't get along sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Well,
You
that's
always
why.
keep, you always keep secrets away from me.
Yeah,
and I'm the
that's-
I
co-founder.
want a t-shirt,
Yeah.
suck it. Please.
Yep,
That's
suck
what I
it.
want. No, yep.
You're gonna get a
Suck it.
T-shirt. You're gonna get a T-shirt that says the disclaimer.
Oh, God, the whole thing.
The whole thing with my face at the bottom
brother.
of it.
Well, hey, that's probably a good idea. If this disclaimer thing gets popular.
There's a few people in the page who would actually wear that shirt.
Yeah. I think I
Good
may
Lord.
actually submit that design, and
Good
we're gonna have that up.
Lord.
But we're gonna have some new designs, so just stay tuned for that. And make sure you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/YEPILW. Moving on to SmackDown. So Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, and I remember Tara talking about how she says lines, and she says lines like this, right, Brie?
So, refresh my drink. Didn't Brie Bella retire Wasn't that a big thing where she retired? Was I hallucinating?
Yeah, she kind of retired.
Oh, interesting that she'd be on my TV then in a match for Hell in the Cell.
The shit that makes me laugh is not only did she retire, but he retired. Yeah. So it's like Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella both have retired and have unretired.
Yes.
And it seemed like Maurice retired as well.
Like, okay,
But she never formally retired. She just went on maternity.
She got knocked up. She did it very smart.
That's different.
And then The Miz actually faked the retirement in the ring during
but
his promo.
that shit was dope, though.
I didn't follow that at all. But no, Daniels was an injury. So that was his retirement from an injury. But Brie formally stood up there, like all the divas put her on their shoulder to retire to go get knocked up. And
what made it worse is that they had a big thing about Nikki not being able to make it to the retirement and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, oh, man, that sucks. You're not there for the retirement. Well, don't worry about it. You'll be there for the next retirement.
You know, a year later, here she is being booked in. Why, when we have a roster full of women, are we putting Brie Bella in a Hell in a Cell match with?
But this is the
Well, it's not going to be a Hell in a Cell.
Well, it's at Hell in a Cell.
It's at Hell in a Cell, but not a Hell in a Cell match. Because if it is, I will not watch.
This is the thing. Wrestlers, they never retire. They retire when they die, unfortunately.
Damn,
Shout out to Terry Funk.
Yeah, I know, but it's still, come on now. How many wrestlers retired and then they came back?
Shout out to Ric Flair.
Yes, I was going to mention Ric Flair.
Woo! Yes.
So,
who retired and had another 100 matches after.
but that was because Vince made him retire, though. That's a
Exactly.
little bit different.
Diamonds are forever.
God bless.
And so are the Horsemen.
God bless TNA for giving him, furthering his career.
I do like a bit of TNA.
Yeah, you do, Teddy?
Just A, not too much the T.
I like TNA.
You do?
Yeah, I do a
Do
lot.
you? All right, well. Whose T do you like better, Peyton Royce or Naomi's?
Oh, I'm gonna pick Naomi. I love Naomi. I like Naomi's A2 better.
Oh, duh. Okay, I'd give that a D for duh. Sonny, Peyton's T or Naomi's T? Which one?
Naomi.
Naomi?
That's
Okay.
like, come on, that's
No brainer.
that's a no-brainer. It's like saying McDonald's or Umami Burger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Umami burger might be healthier.
Well, Peyton
No,
Royce may
it's
be
just
healthier, but Naomi, is definitely tastes better, I'm sure.
By the way, that was some real bougie shit that I just did, right?
That is your thing.
Yeah, I am the bougie boricua.
That is your thing.
The bougie boricua. I didn't hear that one.
Shout out to
Never heard that one.
Allison, his tag team partner in bouginess.
Exactly. So let's go down the card. So we had Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton that got on site.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to carry on with that angle now. Now that Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura, they already had their match. And I kind of look forward to seeing both of them going an angle. I mean, they're both veterans. They've both been in the ring many times together. And I think they could do something, especially with Randy Orton being the heel.
They're going to have a good match.
I'm tired of seeing Randy Orton finger Jeff Hardy. I've seen it already. Like, enough's enough.
Oh, that was gross. That was really gross.
Yeah, I actually fast forward that shit because I was trying to look at that shit.
Good thing that they were thinking out of the box with that.
Taking out of the ear, too.
Yeah. Goodness.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, I got to say what the highlight of the show, I had two highlights of the show. The first highlight was Becky Lynch's promo on Charlotte. That was amazing.
Oh, it definitely was. I think that was her best promo since being in WWE.
Sonny, I'm not doing this with you. Okay, SummerSlam was already enough. My nerves couldn't take it. Now I had to then deal with it again on SmackDown. And it was a little bit of a Triple H type of me promo. Like, I've heard that before.
But it was delivered so well, though.
What was delivered well was when Charlotte came out and she shook the belt at her and she's like, this is what you wanted? And they went at it. It was part catfight, part shoot. That's what I liked. It was fun to watch.
That was dope.
It was, and I've never seen a lady pull apart before. That's called a pull apart, when the locker room empties and you have to pull the wrestlers apart. Shout out to Brock and Taker, Brock Roman. I've never seen the ladies do that. And Paige called out the ladies to do a pull apart.
That was the thing that I liked so much about it, because every time we see that spot, it's always Brock plus insert wrestler.
Taker.
Or Roman.
Yes.
Or Samoa. Or I even think they did it with Braun Strowman too. Did they?
Maybe.
Yeah, so it's like you've seen it so many times, but to see it with these two ladies and the fact that, they went in, like, I feel like they were probably in the back and said, listen, we cool, but when we out there,
Let's just do it.
let's just do this shit like we don't know each other. And they went at each other like.
I loved it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like cat fightish.
It had a bit of a cat fight element to it.
The only part that was that felt like a cat fight was the fact that they were just both women. Honestly, that shit was legit. I enjoyed it. I thought great job, ladies. You guys killed it.
And you saw Charlotte shove Naomi's head in.
She shoved a few people.
Yeah.
No. She didn't shove. That was a mush. That's
mush.
when you're uptown. That you mush.
That's what we call it in Yonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing the let me go, but she mushed Naomi, and she did it to someone else that was holding her on the other side.
Naomi had a bad night. She got mushed by Charlotte, and she lost to Peyton Royce.
I felt like I read Charlotte's lips saying, she said, "Fuck out of here, bitch."
Yeah, they were really trying to get to each other, but it was good to see that. But yeah, I would hate to see Charlotte and Becky split, but this is gonna work because they're both good competitors. So this angle's gonna work.
I actually want them to split because first of all, they're great friends outside of wrestling, which usually when you work with someone you're great friends with, time and time it does come out better because you're working with someone you like.
And it leads to a more brutal match because you have that trust in the ring. But something I think that the fact that they leapfrogged over the rift between Sasha and Bayley is just gonna. It was kind of like a misdirect because I feel like we're gonna have that feud with Sasha and Bayley at some point, and all this stuff is gonna lead to a nice fatal four-way between these four women who are amazing in the ring.
Maybe,
or even a tag team match. Because, supposedly they're going to bring out the women tag team titles.
we've got Evolution coming up, so anything is possible.
Yeah.
But can I say how much I've always been a fan of when a fight's about to break up and one person takes off their coat. I've always just liked that. Because you knew if someone took off their coat, it's like, no, you're going to get this ass whooping right now. You ever seen a fight where someone said, hold on, let me put my drink down? I love shit like that, like put the drink down or take a coat off. Being from the Bronx, women taking off their earrings, any little things like that has always been like.
Teddy, you're from the Bronx?
I lived in the Bronx for many years.
Or pulling out some Vaseline.
It's like, what? Let me.
I don't know about the Vaseline there.
I've always loved that.
No, dude. You never seen like chicks about to fight and they pull out the Vaseline, put the Vaseline on their face.
That means they're about to thump.
That means they about to go in. Yeah, dude.
I've always been a fan of it. So Charlotte took off her when she shook the belt. She's like, "Is this what you want?" And she took off her jacket. I was like, "Let's do it."
Sonny, I don't know nothing about that Vaseline thing, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look it up on World Star. See if it comes up.
Yo, trust me, I'm pretty sure they got like a whole section of that shit.
Shout out to World Star.
Dude, you don't understand. Growing up, I seen plenty of women pull out the Vaseline right before a fight.
Well, when you grew up in the 60s and 70s like you did, and it's a lot of rough shit over there.
Sonny was in black and white. Oh goodness, the Earth was still flat. In any event,
you know what? I fucking hate both of you.
Speaking of flat, Lana and Rusev took on Zelina and God, I joke.
It's Teddy, I got this.
Thank
this.
you.
It's
I can't.
Andrade Cien Almas.
Thank you. Your French is much better than mine. But,
fucking guy.
Aiden English, okay. So he came out to save Rusev. I thought they were going to tease where he was going to turn, but now he's saving him. Can we just admit they don't know what they're doing with the storyline?
No, I think they are. It's just they're not. I think
they do.
I think what's going to happen is Aiden English becomes a heel, but it's just it's going to happen, but you gotta wait a little.
Talking about a slow build, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's like a guy going down on his girl. Sometimes they just don't know what they're doing.
I think Aiden English has a lot of potential. I really think he's really good. He has size. He's good in the ring. He's a great talker, I feel.
I will agree with you on that. I do think that there is some potential with Aiden English if they don't fuck it up like they did with the Vaudevillains. But,
Oh, the Vaudevillains.
I wasn't really too much of a fan of the Vaudevillains, but then when I interviewed Simon Gotch and then when I actually heard Aiden English talk, I was like, wow, these guys can talk. They're way better talkers than I thought. They barely talked in NXT.
Or especially on WWE when they came onto the main roster.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole Rusev, Lana, Zelina, Andrade, it's just terrible. Just terrible.
And I actually like those two pairs, Lana Rusev, Zelina, and Cien. I also think that the Tranquilo pose is going over, and I really like it, especially when Zelina Vega's doing it. But hey, that's another
I've
story
never
for
been
another
so
day.
bored with that tranquilo pose ever since I saw Aiden's wife strip to Kane's entrance music.
Teddy, I've
never
pictures-
been so bored.
Teddy, I've seen pictures of you doing a tranquilo pose.
No, it was mine before it was theirs.
Really?
Shout out
It
to Ric
was?
Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage, by the way. Moving along, speaking of cold, dead black hearts, Samoa Joe savagely attacked AJ Styles. Poor AJ. I think AJ is going to be the new Tina. What do you say? I think he's the new Tina Turner to Samoa Joe's Ike.
It's in here, Tina. It's in here.
Just the beatings are so savage from Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. What Samoa Joe did was straight hood, man.
It was.
That was straight hood. I was actually surprised. I was like, yeah, this sounds about right. and the funny thing was, this was Renee's best, even though it wasn't in the ring, but the best interview she did, on the spot in the audience since she's been doing these things. But I had to crack up when she just was like, oh, I'm out. Hell no.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, no doubt. But it was just like, I felt like I saw smoke when she bounced and shit.
She's like, I'm not doing this with y'all.
I was wondering why they didn't do the interview in the ring, and they were doing it where they were doing it at. And then when I saw Samoa Joe just, did some savage type shit, then I was like, wow, okay, now I know why.
So just like on a visual, because I'm big on visuals, I like the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because the visual looked really dope, because it was like almost like in a tunnel, the way he did it, and then he's like pulling the cameraman. Yeah, it was. I thought the way they filmed that was really, really good.
Now, I know on the last podcast I asked you, if someone disrespects your girl, does that mean it's immediate, it's on site? Let's say you two are in a club and Samoa Joe whacks your girl on the ass. What do you do?
I'm grabbing a bottle, breaking it, and stabbing him.
Really? You're still gonna Samoa
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah, no, fuck that shit.
Even with those lifeless shark eyes of his?
And if it happened to Sonny, I'll just sit there and watch.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
No backup. Shout out to No Backup.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Great to know you have my back.
Oh, goodness.
No, you know what?
I'm only kidding. I love Sonny.
From afar, as he's
From
watching,
afar,
as he's watching me get my ass whipped. And shit.
Loving from afar is actually better than loving from close.
Oh, shout out to my ex. No, that's not true, Kervin. That's not a thing. Yeah, I mean, Samoa Joe, he's a scary dude. Not even his character. I really feel he's a scary person.
You know what's funny? I saw him going to Caroline's last week for the show with Sam Roberts. And, yeah, he's a big dude, but he wasn't as big as I thought he was going to be. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. You know who looks like a big, scary dude? Brock. I've never seen Brock in person.
Brock Lesnar, yes, okay.
I've seen Samoa Joe in person. I've seen Braun Strowman in person. I've seen other dudes in person. But
How tall is Samoa Joe compared to someone like Mark Henry?
smaller than Mark Henry.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think he's smaller than Mark Henry. When I say I've seen them up close. He walked past me as he was going into.
Teddy, don't get too excited.
I mean, he set up close. I was very close to Batista. True story.
So was I, because
Yeah.
when I was doing parties at the World, which is the WWF restaurant.
Oh, shout out to WWE New York.
That's definitely a throwback.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, when he was there, Melina was there.
Oh, Melina, wow.
Rey
Of course, if
Mysterio.
Batista was there, Molina wasn't far behind.
Mysterio was there.
Oh, Ray. I was in an airport one time, and I was coming down the escalator, and the man in front of me was huge. I was like, my God, this man in front of me. And he just turned his head just enough, and I'm like, my God, it's Batista. So, of course, I followed him, and he went into the bathroom, and I followed him into the bathroom, and I went to the urinal next to him.
Of course you did.
I did. This is a true story.
Like the meme?
And then you looked.
I did look. He's huge. He was like 6'5", my height, but he's like twice my width. So, and you know who else is big? They had the Andre the Giant statue at NXT.
Yeah, we saw it.
And it's rare that I feel short, because those of you who are listening, I am 6'5" of chocolate sexiness. I was dwarfed by this statue.
You didn't need to add the last part of.
Didn't I, Sonny? Didn't I?
No.
I was dwarfed by this statue.
You know who was surprising? Who really took me by surprise by how large of a man he is?
Ruby Riott?
Those are the thoughts and opinions of Teddy.
Damn it.
And they do not reflect the thoughts or opinions of Yep, I Like
Shayna
Wrestling.
Baszler.
Oh, give it to him, Sonny.
Those are the
Give it
thoughts
to
and
him hard.
Those are the thoughts and
Come
opinions
on,
of
man.
Kervin, and they do not represent the thoughts or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling either.
Funny because it's true.
The Mick Foley.
Really?
Yeah, man. When I the first time I met Mick Foley, he was still in the ring. You know, he's slimmed down since then. But the first time I ever saw Mick Foley, and this was when, damn, we're talking about 2004, 2005. And, dude, I went up to him, I shook his hand, and I said, hey, I'm a fan. But I remember just looking up at him and just saying to myself, this dude is fucking huge.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, dude. I met him because he was a big dude. You know, he was built. You know, I guess he had a lot of brawn on him for all those matches. He was still wrestling at the time. You know, and this was I believe this was 2004, 2005 WWF restaurant. But no, actually, I'm sorry. No, we're talking about 2002, 2001, 2002, 2003. Around there.
So he maybe just retired or he was winding down.
Yeah, this is 2002. Now I'm getting it correct. Yeah, 2002. I met him and I was blown away by how large this man was. You know, nice as shit. You know, real nice. But I was just like, wow.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
You know who I was also surprised by? But it sounds kind of fucked up because he was really nice. But Eric Bischoff, he had a really big fucking head.
Okay, that's random. Okay,
because he was at the WWF restaurant, which is what it was called at the time, and I was there for a meeting because we used to do for our weekly nightclub party, we would meet up there, have a sit down, have dinner, and do our meeting to plan for the week, and he was there and it was empty, and I just went up to him. I said, hey, listen, I'm a huge fan. I love what you did in WCW, and he was very courteous and very thankful, and he was like, "Oh, thank you so much," and shook his hand. But as I'm looking at him, I'm just like, "Yo, this dude got a big fucking head."
Big dome? Really?
Yeah, I was just surprised. I was just like, "Wow, this dude got a big fucking head." But he was nice as hell, So,
He got a lot on his mind.
Exactly.
A lot on his mind.
Teddy, you like men with big heads, don't
I've
you?
always been a fan of men with big heads. Shout out to Carmella. I also met Terry at the WWE store.
Those are the thoughts and opinions of
Sonny,
Teddy.
I'm trying to go down memory lane. I'm getting disclaimed. I met Terry, who was very tiny. Like, she barely came up to my waist.
Oh, yeah.
She was very tiny, but yes. I think I could have hit that had I pushed the issue. Really do.
Yeah, you told us the story before.
Really do.
Yeah, she asked if you were thirsty.
Yes. I think there was a missed opportunity. But in any event.
Didn't like something have to do with your nephew?
Yes, so my nephew was with me. Shout out to my nephew, Christian. In any event, I have something to say.
Okay.
The announcing team on SmackDown needs to basically shut up. Like, they just do less speaking because they often get things wrong. Like,
yeah.
Michael Cole just gets things wrong.
Michael Cole wasn't on SmackDown.
No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of...
Tom Phillips.
Yeah, thank you. He just gets things wrong. And...
Like the pronunciation of tranquilo.
Oh, God. That's the white man.
Tranquilo.
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 This past episode, he said, and Trish Stratus is getting into the ring for the first time in 7 years. Or since the Royal Rumble, jackass. Like, why would you say things?
Because you know what? The lines that were fed to him is that technically she hasn't been in a one-on-one competition in 7 years.
Just like,
But yeah. But I'm actually looking forward to that match. I think that's going to be great. And now it makes sense why they took the belt off of Alexa Bliss.
I was still hoping for a three-way dance, but yeah, I guess, Trish versus Alexis.
Trust
why
me,
not?
I was hoping for a three-way dance too.
I mean, Trish Lita Mickey has money all over it.
Trish Stratus alone is money.
Trish is alone.
A lot more than just money.
Yeah, it ain't just
Oh,
money.
definitely.
Shout out to Kleenex.
Speaking of money, the New Day, they defeated the Bludgeon Brothers.
So the New Day are our new champions.
Yes, they are.
The 5-time. They are the Booker T's of
They're
the tag team.
5-time WWE World Tag Team Champions.
That's exactly how they're gonna do it. Watch.
Of course. I mean, I was not pleased by the Bludgeon Brothers.
No,
Were you?
I don't think anybody was.
I felt they should have talked more. They do have some type of talent. I think Harper's really, really good. They should have spoke more. But hey, I mean, I thought they got rid of the titles away from them because they were pretty boring. But hey, supposedly Rowan has an injury.
Yeah.
You know what? I disagree with them speaking more. I actually feel like they were booked to perform like monsters, and those two guys, well, more so Luke Harper. Luke Harper can go in the ring. And because of the way they booked him, it was almost like they restricted his movements and the type of stuff he would do. And it took away.
Yeah, like, for example, doing suicide dives.
Yeah, it took away. I mean, that's what made them boring, because they were just two dudes doing the same shit, power moves, in a division where there was a lot of guys that could do a lot more things, and it just got redundant. So
everything happens for a reason. Rowan's injury might be a blessing for the tag team division. Now that New Day have the titles and you know they're entertaining.
Hopefully he'll come back, maybe slim down, where he could do some more athletic stuff in the ring alongside Luke Harper and they could just be tall and athletic and do stuff that will keep up with the rest of the guys.
And the thing with Rowan is he does get a lot of injuries. You know,
Yeah.
you could pretty much say he's injury prone right now because this is not the first injury he's had.
Yeah, it's almost like he averages an injury like every 9 months or something like that.
I definitely think that Luke Harper can now focus on being a singles competitor.
That'd be nice.
And we will have Sanity slide into that, that space as a tag team, the scary tag team, because we honestly didn't need two scary tag teams.
No, we didn't.
Now Sanity can just slide right in, and fits perfectly.
And Sanity has a better like character.
They do
for that type of spot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
I mean,
Luke can focus on a singles. Let these be the scary men. We have the three here versus the three New Day. It's a better fit. I think Eric Rowan. Yeah. His injury was a blessing, just not for him. It was a blessing for everyone else.
But I gotta give him props though, because
that's what you get for jerking off so vigorously.
Jesus Christ!
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah, sometimes. But listen, I gotta say though, I gotta give Eric Rowan as well as Luke Harper props for
Why
the
is
match.
that?
The match they put on. The match they put on with the New Day was a great match. I really enjoyed watching it. They killed it in the ring. I didn't expect New Day to go over.
No.
But the fact of how they went over, and they went over without the assistance of anything outside except them just doing what they had to do in the ring. It made me feel, I don't know why this popped in my head, but it being Xavier Woods and Kofi made me think of the Rockers. I'm not the Rockers, the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh.
Because they were a slender and smaller tag team that would find a way to win over bigger, bulkier tag teams, and that was the thing that just popped in my head. I just thought of the Rock and Roll Express when they won, and I loved it.
That's a great analogy, and there's two things that I want to add. First of all, when it comes to Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers, I feel Eric Young is the better talker out of all five of those wrestlers. And also Luke Harper, he thanked Eric Rowan for fighting it out with the torn bicep on both nights, SummerSlam as well as SmackDown too. So I wanted to add that in there.
You do what you got to do. But yeah, I agree
respect
with
for that.
you. And I mean, if push comes to shove, I would even say let Luke Harper join Sanity and let it be a stable. But either way, I think this injury was great for everyone around. And the match on SmackDown was good. Xavier always pulls it out.
Or you can have Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt join Braun Strowman to face the Shield. But that's just a suggestion.
So we reunite
by
the
me.
Wyatts? The Wyatts, because I
maybe.
mean, Bray's free, so we may reunite the Wyatts. Why not? We drag everything else out of the closet. Shout out to Darren Young. I mean, everything else gets dragged out. Why not?
I mean, who knows?
Hey, Teddy, remember when I had you sit down in the closet for sound?
I don't remember that. I don't remember
Teddy,
that.
that happened?
That was a real thing. Sonny with his Jedi mind tricks got me to
Don't tell me that happened.
laid
Teddy.
out in a dark room. I know.
You in a dark room
I'm
in a
in
closet?
an abusive relationship here. I really am. Crazy. But overall, I think SmackDown was the better of the two evils this week.
I think it was Raw, but it's Raw by a fingertip.
I've heard that so many times this week.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you would.
Shout out to Newark. Speaking of which, gentlemen, is there a tag team, now that we've been talking about tag teams, Sonny brought up the Rock and Roll Express. Is there a tag team of yesteryear that you really miss, or that when you were a kid you really liked to see them? Is there any tag team that...
The Road Warriors. There's plenty of
Which
tag
incarnation?
teams.
Well, give me your top 3.
Top 3 teams that I would love to see come back. The Road Warriors.
Well, I think that's gonna be kind of hard, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, well, all right. We're gonna. All right,
dead or alive. Let's use that as the as the
dead or
question.
alive. The Road Warriors. As of today, I'm gonna go with the British Bulldogs.
Oh.
I don't think the British Bulldogs could have made. I think they didn't get their due.
Shout
They
out
didn't
to
get their
Davey
credit,
Boy.
and I felt that they didn't. I think they will be more loved today because of their in-ring ability. Mm-hmm. So in the third tag team, I'm gonna go with the tag team that was mentioned. Rock and Roll Express was mentioned by Sonny, but I'm gonna talk about a team that was inspired by them, and that's the Rockers.
Ah, yes, Monty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels.
And the Rockers, they should have won the tag titles, which they did, but they gave the titles back, which is a long story, for another day.
Good times, good times. Sonny, is there a tag team? And don't say Jack and Cokes. That's not a tag team. Actual tag team, sir.
I can't believe
It's actually Henny and Pineapple.
Shout out to Hennessy.
I do have an honorable mention because I
what?
thought
Who's
of a
that?
tag team.
What's your honorable mention?
It's Crime Time.
Oh, yeah.
JTG.
Shout out to JTG and Chad.
They should
Your
have won.
number one fan is here, Kervin.
They should have won the tag titles.
Yo, you don't understand. JTG has the number one fan in Kervin.
Oh, God, he's a bit of a smock, is he?
Yeah, man.
He's just their number one fan.
Oh.
Like almost like criminal type number
Oh,
one fan. Yeah.
shout out to restraining orders.
I have one of their vintage shirts.
That's a little creepy,
And
but okay.
actually, when I got to meet them,
it's their vintage shirt.
yeah.
Wow.
When I got to meet them at Wrestling Universe a couple of years ago, they looked at me like if I was a star. They were like, "Oh shit, that's our shirt."
That's not a thing,
that's,
bro.
Oh,
He's putting himself over, Sonny. Let him.
they look like
So they marked out for you, is what you're saying.
they marked out for me because I had the shirt on. I'm like, yeah, it's the only shirt that I know of them. I mean, they have plenty now, so that's the only shirt that I knew about.
I mean, that's understandable that they would because they didn't get the kind of run and love that they should have because they were really good. They should have gotten more.
good
more
to
love.
They were supposed to win the tag titles at one point in Africa, supposedly.
Oh,
and some other
God.
tag team won the titles. If I'm right, it was Brian Kendrick and Paul London. And they were also supposed to win the tag titles around the time of
Random
Jericho
party of
and the
one?
Big Show. But every time they try to win the tag titles, supposedly according to JTG in his books,
Shad got into some
Shad got into some trouble,
Oh,
and they're
shout
like,
out to
you know what?
Chad.
That's it. We're not going to give you guys the run.
Yeah.
So, Sonny, is there a tag team dynamic duo you miss? And don't say vodka and cranberry. That's not a thing, Sonny.
It's Hennessy and Pineapple.
Oh, Hennessy. Shout out to Bad Decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Well, real quick, I got to touch on some of Kervin's picks. I was always...
You have to touch on some of Kervin's.
Let's hear it.
Listen, I was the hugest Dynamite Kid fan
Oh,
ever.
yes.
Like, dude, I totally agree with that British Bulldogs. Like, when I was a kid, I wanted a bulldog and so I could name it Matilda.
Shout out to Matilda.
They need to be in the WWE Hall of Fame already.
Yeah. I also...
Never gonna happen.
pretty much. I also agree with the Road Warriors. I thought they were amazing as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not bad, Teddy.
Yeah, that
I
was-
know.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
was pretty
My
good.
Vicodin's wearing off, so yeah, all shit's happening. So who else do you miss, Sonny?
Arn Anderson
Ooh.
and Tully Blanchard. And not the Brainbusters version that was in the WWF in the beginning. No. I'm talking about the NWA version with when they were with the original Four Horsemen. That's the version of those dudes I wish I could bring back.
Shout out to the enforcer, Arn Anderson. Yes.
What about you, Teddy?
Tag teams that I am fond of. Well, you know what? The New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg. I was always a fan of that first incarnation when they were at DX.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh yeah, that is like they were the New Day back then because Road Dogg would do that live on the mic. Everyone would jump up. The Hardy Boys. Back in, '99, there was nothing bigger. They were like rock stars. I had
Very
a Hardy
true.
Boy poster on my wall in college. Hardy Boys. And yeah, I know this is going to be random, but the Bushwhackers. When I was a kid, I used to think they were the funniest thing ever. The music, I used to run around my house doing that stupid.
It was the men licking things,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Butch and Luke, of course.
It's funny you mentioned the Bushwhackers. I remember when they were the sheep herders.
Really?
So do I.
Yes, I know you do, Sonny.
And what was fuck you? And what was the?
You started it.
I swear to God, I didn't say that bad. Nothing.
Yeah, you made me feel even older than I am.
Sonny's
No,
very
that wasn't.
testy about being born in the 40s. You have to be careful
God, I
when
hate
you talk
you.
about it.
I know you got. I know you
The
got to be
sheep
careful with that.
herders.
Yeah, man, they were vicious too, man.
Oh, they were very vicious, man.
like Abdullah the Butcher vicious.
Oh, God.
Yeah, them dudes were
My
vicious.
God. He now goes by the name Carmella. But wow, that's fishes. That's
Those are the
terrible.
thoughts and opinions of
Sonny!
and they do not represent the thoughts or opinions of Yes, I Like Wrestling.
Teddy, you need to look up the sheep herders, man. If you love
I will.
hardcore wrestling, you need to look them up, man, because they really, really brought hardcore wrestling.
So when
in
did they
there.
become this cartoonish Saturday morning version of Butch and Luke?
When they came up to WWF.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't do the vicious shit they used to do back then. Like,
Oh, no,
it was, Yeah, nah, it would have been too much. You know, another tag team that I just thought about that I also remember fondly? Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff.
Ah, yes.
We
Yeah.
talked about them the other day too.
Yeah, exactly. So I always liked those dudes too. They were like, you know, the uncle and nephew type of tag team.
So would you say that's your honorable mention team?
Yeah.
Because I had an honorable mention.
Yeah,
team.
that's definitely my honorable mention team.
What about you, Teddy?
You have an honorable mention, Teddy?
Demolition.
I was gonna mention
Demolition
Demolition.
probably be my honorable mention.
Yeah.
I remember being very scared of Demolition when, you know, I
Another
was a
tag team
child.
that should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but
Yeah.
they're currently
Axe,
in a lawsuit.
Smash, and then Crush. Yes.
I never liked Demolition.
Really?
I always felt like they were a ripoff of Kiss as well as
The Road Warriors.
Road
a bit-
Warriors.
Yeah.
Powers of Pain as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But Powers of Pain, I don't know. I just never really thought much of them either.
They were really a rip off of the Road Warriors.
Oh yeah, they were like but I just when you got the original, why?
Okay. So I'll take back Demolition, and I will.
No,
give
I mean
you,
that,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'll
if you
keep-
want
no,
Demolition,
I
I
will
didn't mean to
No, I'll
shit
take
on your
back
pick.
You did. You pissed all over it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
you-
if you're
you-
into that thing, Kervin.
You broke his heart.
No, you did. So I will take back Demolition, and I will raise you a Mega Powers, because when they exploded, I remember
no.
losing my fucking mind when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
You
You
put
know.
put back Demolition in there.
I put back Demolition. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta
I'll
understand.
take the Ultimate Maniacs over the Mega Powers.
God.
Just me personally, since
Yeah,
I'm
that-
a Ultimate Warrior fan.
Goodness
Ultimate
gracious.
Warrior Mark.
Oh, yeah, Ultimate Warrior Mark. I'm okay with that.
Gentlemen, this has been fun, but there is a Lyft driver waiting patiently for me outside.
Lyft, Teddy? No Uber today?
No Uber. Uber's charging me too much.
And no D train?
No, he's mad at me. Wow. Sonny, take us home.
And that's a wrap for episode 37, the Kervin episode, because since Kervin likes to be here on
He likes it
episodes
7.
Yes.
Is everything 7?
Lucky 7. What do you mean by everything is 7?
Nothing. Take us home, Sonny.
So, yeah.
Why are you holding your microphone so gingerly, like Bob Barker on The Price is Right?
Because I've been hanging around you too much.
Oh, good. These are your microphones.
So yeah, thanks for joining us for episode 37. Please make sure you find us on all podcast platforms by searching "Yep, I Like Wrestling" or on all social media at YEPILW. Thanks again for listening, and on behalf of this podcast, my name is Sonny Sofrito, and today I was joined by,
Kervin, the co-founder of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
and I was also joined by.
The outgoing general manager of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
Exactly. You got 2 weeks, bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Get that resignation letter in.
Oh, God.
And you're going to read that shit on the air.
Oh, no.
Let me know if you want me to edit it.
Oh, God. Here we are.
I'll type it out for a good fee.
I'm being God, what? I'm good. God, that had an air of sexual harassment to it, Sonny. Yes, 2 weeks. I know.
And that's a wrap. Take care.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Have a great have a great week. Peace out. And bye, Rhonda. You know what I just thought of? Imagine if I would have had one of those wireless mics and then I would have went to the bathroom just now, and it would have been like the Naked Gun.
Oh, I love that film.
That all you would have heard was.
I love that film.
Where do we start? From me saying honorable mention?
Yeah, honorable mention.
So yeah, so please make sure you find us on all fuck.
Oh, God, that Hennessy's
Please
settling.
please make sure you find us on all podcast platforms.